There are three different categories when it comes to limiting beliefs. But the number one category that we have limiting beliefs in, for most of us, is our beliefs about ourselves. And this is where we have an experience when we're, usually it can happen when we're young or a teenager or in our 20s, whatever it is. We have a negative experience, and that's when we judge ourselves and we make a conclusion about ourselves. And we come to the belief about ourselves that we are either not we're not an extrovert, or we're not a good speaker, or we're not smart, or whatever it ends up being. We'll come up with a limiting belief about who we think we are. And these limiting beliefs will stay with us. And they become a part of us. They become a part of our identity. They become a part of our lives, essentially. And when this happens, our behavior changes, and we minimize our ability to take action. We minimize our ability to accept opportunities. And essentially, we live a smaller life. So by believing these limiting beliefs, and the thing about a limiting belief is that it doesn't feel like a belief. It feels true. It feels like that's what it is. And if that's what it is, then that's what it is. It's the way we are. It's the way the world is. There's just no getting around it until we take the time to look at it and question it and discover. And this takes introspection. This takes time. This takes presence. And this is all things that I do in my community with my community members when we do coaching. We take them through and we go through limiting beliefs, and we can go through one by one and start dismantling them and taking them apart. And what you're essentially doing is removing the bars that keep you limited, that keep your life small, that keep you living small. So some of the, what happens when we have these limiting beliefs is we still have a part of us that wants to achieve. We still have a part of us that has hopes and dreams and goals and things we want to do. So we will start to push ourselves in that direction. And as we do that, we hit resistance. And that's when we start to procrastinate. That's when we start to slow down. That's when we start to overthink. And that's when we start to perfectionism. And that's when we hesitate. And all of this is coming from our old programming and our old beliefs about ourselves and who we think we are. Until we start reprogramming those limiting beliefs, we can try to take action. We can try to just do it. We can try all of these things, but it's going to be a constant battle. And I'm sure you've all experienced it. It's like pushing through. Every time you want to do something, you have to have an emotional struggle and push through and fight your own demons just to get something done. And that is just the old programming trying to do what it's meant to do, which is keep you safe, keep you secure, help you with your survival. And we've been built to survive. We haven't been built to grow. But in today's world, we need to grow. We need to keep pivoting. We need to change. We can't stay in our comfort zones. We need to continually expand ourselves. So let's get back to limiting beliefs. So one of the major areas of limiting beliefs are about ourselves. But that's not the only thing that holds us back. The other thing that holds us back is our limiting beliefs about others. So some of us are humble, we lean towards humility, and we make ourselves small. And that keeps us safe. I tend to do that. Some of us, we lean toward pride, where we tend to puff ourselves up. And this is also just a mechanism to keep ourselves safe and protected. So in order to puff ourselves up, we have to be above someone. In order to be proud, we need to be above them in some way in our minds. So this is where we begin to limit others in our belief system. So we tend to believe that others don't care enough, or others are not loving enough, or others have a specific trait, or they always do this, or they never do this, or there are no customers, or AI is taking over all the jobs. And we will come up with all of these ways of blaming and minimizing the outside, them, the other people. And by doing this, by limiting them or the world in some way, we now begin to trap ourselves. It feels safe. It feels like we're protecting ourselves. But by doing that, by blaming and by limiting what we see in others, by judging and by holding those beliefs as true, we begin building our own prison again. We begin building our own walls around us that stop us from living the life we truly want, that stop us from looking for new opportunities, that stop us from growing and pivoting and trying new things. So all of this is also connected to Martin Seligman's work on optimism. And he identified that people are optimistic in three categories, or pessimistic in three categories. So either they're optimistic or pessimistic about themselves, others, and the world. And this is where it connects to our limiting beliefs. So we may also have limiting beliefs about the world now. The world is falling apart, or the world is now being taken over by AI. It may not be the world, it may be our industry. It may be our jobs, as general as that sounds. So by holding these limiting beliefs about the world, we again begin building our walls around us, keeping us stuck, keeping us trapped. And let's look at the impact that holding these beliefs have. So by holding these beliefs, how is that impacting you? How is that affecting your life? And not only that, how has it affected your life since then? How has it affected your life in the past? How is it affecting your life now in the present? And how is it going to impact you in the future? What opportunities might you miss because you believed that AI has taken all the jobs? Or what opportunities did you fail to see? Did you fail to look for? because you thought there were none in your city or in your country. So start to look at the impact of these negative beliefs. Now, imagine what you could accomplish without those limiting beliefs. Imagine what you could accomplish without those limiting beliefs. If you could not even have that programming in your mind, imagine the action you would be able to do. Imagine the faith you would have in yourself and the trust you would have in others and the opportunities you would begin finding all around you. We all have heard about the prefrontal cortex and how it looks for whatever it is we give it. If we walk into a room and we tell it to look for things that are red, it will find red. Okay. So by removing these limiting beliefs, you're essentially enhancing your ability to see more opportunities, more within yourself, more of your own abilities, and more in others. So by having more trust in others and being able to see more opportunity in others, you expand your opportunities as well. It's really difficult to accomplish anything, a business, anything, if you can't trust other people. Now, I'm not saying to be naive and foolish and begin trusting, but at the same time, if you are too closed off, if you are not open enough, not trusting enough, if you don't have enough faith in people, then you will try to do everything yourself. You may trust yourself, you may have a lot of confidence in yourself, and you may have a lot of belief and be very responsible, but then without the trust in others, you will try to do everything on your own. And this shows up in attachment types. So that would be the avoidant attachment type. The person who has a very, strong sense of self, but has trouble trusting others, that doesn't open up to others, that doesn't have enough faith in people or humanity or whatever, in others, essentially, to express themselves, to be free around them. Okay, so this can affect your relationships as well. Now there are the opposite. This is the the anxious attached. So they have a lot of trust in others. They have a lot of belief in others, but they have very little belief and trust in themselves. So these people end up being too naive. They don't do enough research. They don't study enough. They don't prepare enough. And these are the people who may be getting taken advantage of, getting scammed, or whatever. So you want to balance both. You want to balance your belief within yourself, your belief and trust within others, and your belief and trust in the world. So if you like this, you'll love what I'm doing in my school, where we do practical exercises that create real transformation, that create real results, where you can tangibly feel the difference within your body and within yourself, and noticeably notice behavior changes that you help you to be much more, you'll notice that you're able to be way more comfortable doing certain actions. Okay, your comfort zone is noticeably going to grow and expand. your belief in yourself is going to grow and expand. So join my community. Check it out. If this interests you at all, check out my community. We break through limiting beliefs. We change our perception of ourselves, of others, and we begin controlling how we feel. I teach you guys how to control how you feel, how you see things, and we start removing the walls, removing the obstacles, removing the barriers between you and your goal, between you and what you want in your life. And that's my mission. That's my purpose, is to help everyone to live the most authentic, full life that they want to create. So check out my school, check out my link below, and I'll see you